In the still of the night, when shadows play tricks on the mind, there are places across America where the ordinary can become extraordinary. Imagine walking through the doorways of history, where every creaking floorboard and chilling draft whispers tales of a bygone era. These are not just stories of everyday heroes and villains, but of those who seemingly refuse to leave, their spirits etched into the very fabric of these locales. Throughout the United States, in every corner of the country, there exist places imbued with an uncanny aura. This is a land steeped in history, where the past lingers tenaciously, refusing to be forgotten. From the whispering woods of New England to the sun-drenched deserts of the Southwest, from the bustling heartlands to the serene Pacific shores, there are tales of the supernatural that chill the spine and ignite the imagination. These are the stories that have survived generations, passed down like heirlooms, their edges worn and faded, but still holding a kernel of something unexplainable. They are the tales of apparitions and eerie noises, of ghostly presences and unaccountable phenomena. They speak of haunted hotels and forlorn battlefields, of abandoned asylums and spectral prisons. Each one carries the weight of the unexplained, the allure of the unknown, and the chill of the supernatural. Is it the echo of history that we hear when the wind whips through the empty corridors? Or is it something more? Something that resists the march of time, that lingers in the air and the stone, that watches from the shadows and waits in the silence? These are the tales that make us question the boundaries of our understanding and challenge the limits of our courage. They invite us to step beyond the veil of the known, to cross the threshold into a world where the laws of nature seem to hold less sway, where the inexplicable becomes the norm, and the ordinary turns into the extraordinary. In the following journey, we will traverse the length and breadth of America, unearthing the stories and legends that have captured the imagination of paranormal enthusiasts for generations. Are you ready to step beyond the veil of the known and explore the shadows? Welcome to America's Most Haunted. In the heart of Alabama, the Sloss Furnaces echo with a chilling past. Here, in the throbbing metropolis of Birmingham, a relic of the industrial age stands tall, casting long shadows of stories untold. Built in the late 19th century, Sloss Furnaces was an industrial complex known for its iron production. As the lifeblood of the city's economy, it bore witness to the sweat and tears of countless laborers, their lives intertwined with the clanging rhythm of iron against iron. But the hum of industry came with a toll. The harsh working conditions led to numerous accidents and tragically fatalities. As the sun set on the era of iron production, the furnaces fell silent, but whispers of the past seemed to linger within its cold, ironclad walls. Over the years, visitors and locals alike have reported a series of unexplained occurrences. Stories of hearing ghostly voices, as if the echoes of laborers past were still reverberating through the hollow chambers. Tales of seeing apparitions, figures dressed in the garb of 19th century workers, continuing their eternal toil amidst the rusted machinery. There are those who speak of feeling an inexplicable sense of dread, a chill in the air that seems to seep into their very bones. Unexplained events, such as sudden drops in temperature and items moving on their own, add an eerie layer to the haunting tales of Sloss Furnaces. Skeptics may argue that these are mere tricks of the mind, the result of the human tendency to seek patterns and meanings where none exist. But for those who felt the chill of the Alabama night at Sloss Furnaces, their experiences are as real as the iron that once flowed within this industrial giant. Whether you choose to believe in the paranormal or not, one thing is undeniable. The Sloss Furnaces carry a history that reaches out from the past, a testament to the lives and labors of those who once toiled within its walls. In the silence of the night, the ironclad ghosts of Sloss Furnaces continue their eternal toil. In the frozen north of Alaska, an old hotel becomes the setting for spectral encounters. The historic Anchorage Hotel, located in the heart of downtown Anchorage, is a place where past and present seem to coexist. Its rich history spanning over a century is filled with tales of gold miners, railroad workers and politicians, some of whom it seems have decided to extend their stay indefinitely. The hotel, originally built in the early 20th century, has seen its fair share of colourful characters and dramatic events. It's no surprise then that guests and staff alike have reported a plethora of paranormal experiences. From fleeting apparitions in the corner of one's eye to disembodied voices echoing through the halls, the historic Anchorage Hotel is a hotbed of spectral activity. One recurring guest from the other side is said to be the spirit of a former hotel manager. This well-dressed gentleman, known for his punctuality and dedication during his living days, appears to be unwilling to relinquish his duties in the afterlife. Sightings of his ghostly figure, often accompanied by the smell of his distinctive cigar smoke, have been reported throughout the hotel. But the manager is not the only spirit to roam these halls. Unexplained noises, flickering lights, and even the sensation of being watched are common occurrences. Some guests have woken up in the middle of the night, feeling an unseen presence in their room. Others have heard the distinct sound of footsteps echoing down the hallway, only to find no one there when they open their door. While the historic Anchorage Hotel continues to be a popular choice for travelers seeking a taste of Alaskan history and hospitality, it's clear that some of its occupants are there for more than just the stunning views and comfortable lodgings. For those with a penchant for the paranormal, a night at this hotel might just offer a glimpse into the unexplained mysteries that lurk within its walls. Guests seeking respite may find more than they bargained for in the historic Anchorage Hotel. From the wild west of Arizona, the Birdcage Theatre stages ghostly performances long after the final curtain. A chilling statement that sets the tone for our exploration of Arizona's most haunted location. The Birdcage Theatre, nestled in Tombstone, is more than just a former theatre and saloon. Its walls carry the weight of a violent past, where the law was often decided by the quick draw of a gun and the sharp aim of a marksman. Established in the late 19th century, during the height of the Wild West era, it was a place of entertainment, socialization, and unfortunately, numerous violent incidents. Tales of the theatre's haunting began to circulate soon after its closure in 1889, with the first accounts of paranormal activity dating back to the early 20th century. Staff and visitors alike have reported hearing ghostly laughter echoing through the empty halls, chilling reminders of the raucous crowds that once filled the theatre. The laughter, it is said, is often followed by the terrifying sound of gunshots, a grim echo of the theatre's violent past. The theatre's spectral repertoire isn't limited to auditory phenomena. Visitors have claimed to see apparitions, ghostly figures that appear to be straight out of the Wild West. Cowboys with their Stetson hats and ladies of the night in their Victorian attire have been spotted, seemingly unaware of their spectral state, continuing to revel in the theatre's past glory. Many have tried to debunk these claims, attributing the reports to overactive imaginations or simple hoaxes. Yet the accounts persist, consistent in their descriptions of the laughter, the gunshots, and the apparitions. Skeptics become believers, and the believers become more convinced with each passing day. In the heart of Arizona, the Birdcage Theatre stands as a testament to the state's Wild West past. But it's more than just a relic of history. It's a stage for the spectral performers who refuse to take their final bow. The Birdcage Theatre continues to echo with the laughter and gunshots of its spectral patrons. Arkansas's Crescent Hotel, a beacon of healing turned haunting, is home to an array of spectral residents. Nestled in the quaint town of Eureka Springs, the Crescent Hotel's grandeur is as enduring as the ghostly tales that have become woven into its history. Constructed in the late 19th century, the hotel was initially a lavish retreat. However, its story took a chilling turn when it was transformed into a cancer hospital in the 1930s. Under the dubious care of a man named Norman Baker, the hospital was the site of countless deaths, many attributed to Baker's unproven and often dangerous treatments. The echoes of patients' tormented final days are said to reverberate within these walls even today. Reports of eerie occurrences are as numerous as they are chilling. One of the most frequently cited apparitions is a nurse pushing a gurney, her spectral form appearing most often in the area that once served as the morgue. Her unsettling presence is often accompanied by the metallic clatter of medical instruments and the echoes of anguished cries. Another ghostly inhabitant is a mischievous poltergeist known for hurling stones at unsuspecting guests. This stone-throwing spectre appears to have a particular fondness for the hotel's gardens, where the majority of his antics are reported. Not all the Crescent's spectral residents are quite so unnerving. A gentlemanly apparition, resplendent in Victorian attire, is often seen at the foot of the stairs. His silent, watchful presence is said to be a comforting, if somewhat eerie, reminder of the hotel's more glamorous past. Despite the chill that these tales might send down your spine, the Crescent Hotel continues to welcome guests. Some come for the history, some for the breathtaking views, and others for a chance to brush with the unknown. And who knows? Perhaps you too might experience an encounter with the past that refuses to rest. The Crescent Hotel, where the past refuses to rest in peace. In California, the Queen Mary sails through time, carrying a spectral crew. This grand ocean liner, docked permanently at Long Beach, is a floating monument to a bygone era of luxury and elegance. But beneath her polished decks and gleaming portholes, whispers of a spectral presence persist. The Queen Mary first set sail in the early 20th century, a beacon of opulence on the high seas. During her service in World War II, she was painted a ghostly grey and transformed into a troopship, earning her the nickname the Grey Ghost. After the war, she returned to her former glory, ferrying the rich and famous across the Atlantic until she was permanently docked in 1967. But throughout her illustrious career, the Queen Mary has been the stage for countless tales of the uncanny and the unexplained. From the depths of her engine room to her first-class suites, chilling tales of spectral sailors and phantom parties echo. In the bowels of the ship, in the now sealed-off Door 13, a young crewman was reportedly crushed to death during a routine drill. It's said his ghost, garbed in blue overalls, still haunts the area, his spectral cries echoing through the ship's steel innards. Elsewhere on the ship, guests have reported hearing the sounds of a spectral soiree, the faint strains of a ghostly orchestra, the clink of invisible glasses and soft laughter drift from the now empty first-class lounge, harking back to the ship's golden age. Perhaps the most famous apparition is the Lady in White. This elegant spectre, often seen dancing alone in the ship's opulent ballroom or wandering the first-class decks, is a graceful reminder of the ship's glamorous past. The Queen Mary, a vessel where the past continues to make waves. Her spectral crew, forever sailing on the seas of time, remind us that sometimes history refuses to be confined to the past. And for those with a taste for the eerie and the unexplained, the Queen Mary continues to be a destination of choice. Her ghostly inhabitants as much a part of her charm as her rich history. Nestled in the Rockies, Colorado's Stanley Hotel hosts more than just living guests. This grand old building, with its picturesque mountain backdrop, has a history that is as captivating as it is chilling. It was the eerie atmosphere and reported hauntings of this hotel that inspired one of the most iconic horror novels of our time, Stephen King's The Shining. The story goes that King and his wife checked into room 217 in the late 70s. They were the only guests in the hotel that night, as it was about to close for the winter season. It was during this one-night stay that King conceived the idea for The Shining, a chilling tale of a writer who slowly descends into madness while acting as the winter caretaker of an isolated hotel. The Stanley Hotel's own history of hauntings and paranormal activity was the perfect backdrop for this terrifying narrative. Guests and staff at the Stanley Hotel have reported numerous inexplicable occurrences over the years. Disembodied voices echo through empty halls. Phantom footsteps reverberate in the dead of night. Items move of their own accord. The spectral figures of children have been seen playing in the hallways, while other apparitions are spotted in the hotel's grand ballroom. But perhaps the most chilling reports involve room 217 itself, the very room that King stayed in. Guests have reported the sensation of unseen hands tugging at their covers in the middle of the night, and the sound of children laughing and playing outside the room, despite there being no children present in the hotel. Such tales of the Stanley Hotel's spectral residents have only added to its allure, drawing paranormal enthusiasts and brave tourists looking to experience a brush with the supernatural. It's a place where the boundary between the living and the dead seems to thin, where whispers from the past echo in the present. The Stanley Hotel, where fiction and reality blur on the spectral plane. Amidst the stone and silence of Connecticut's Union Cemetery, a white lady wanders. This claim, haunting as it is, forms the crux of one of Connecticut's most enduring legends. Union Cemetery, nestled in the quaint town of Easton, is steeped in history and shrouded in mystery, its grounds echoing with tales of the unexplained. The most famous of these tales centers around the spectral figure known as the White Lady. She is often described as a woman in a long, flowing white dress, her face hidden by a veil. No one knows who she was in life, but in death she has become a symbol of the enigmatic and eerie. Sightings of the White Lady are often accompanied by a chill in the air, a sudden sense of unease, or the inexplicable flicker of car headlights. But the White Lady is not the only spectral resident of Union Cemetery. Visitors and paranormal investigators alike have reported other phenomena that defy explanation. Orbs of light, appearing in photographs taken in the dead of night. Mysterious sounds, like the rustle of leaves or the whisper of a breeze when there is no wind. Some have even claimed to have captured ghostly voices on audio equipment, the words indistinct but the tone unmistakably human. Union Cemetery's reputation as one of the most haunted places in Connecticut has drawn the attention of renowned paranormal investigators, including Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens, known for their work on high-profile cases such as the Amityville haunting, conducted extensive investigations at Union Cemetery. Their experiences, documented in their book Graveyard, lend further weight to the claims of paranormal activity. So what keeps the spirits at Union Cemetery so restless? Some say it's the area's rich history, marked by tragedy and loss. Others believe it's the cemetery's location, situated at a crossroads where spiritual energy is said to be especially strong. Whatever the reason, one thing is certain: Union Cemetery, where the spirits are as restless as the living. In Delaware, the echoes of the Civil War reverberate through Fort Delaware. This fortress, a relic of a tumultuous past, is nestled on Pea Patch Island in Delaware City. Constructed in 1859, it was a Union fortress during the Civil War, housing Confederate prisoners of war. The fort's history is steeped in hardship, with tales of disease, death and despair permeating its stone walls. Fort Delaware was not merely a military installation, it was also a prison camp. The chilling reality is that thousands of Confederate soldiers were held captive within its walls, and many breathed their last in the confines of this fortress. The spectre of war and the anguish of incarceration combine to create an atmosphere of dread that persists to this day. Visitors and staff alike have reported unexplained phenomena hinting at the presence of supernatural entities. The sounds of phantom footsteps echo through the corridors. Unseen entities seem to lurk in the shadows, and sudden, inexplicable drops in temperature send shivers down the spines of those who dare to explore this historic site. Some visitors have even reported sightings of apparitions, believed to be the spirits of the fallen Confederate soldiers. These spectral figures, clad in Civil War-era attire, appear to be trapped in a timeless purgatory, forever bound to the place of their untimely demise. Paranormal researchers have documented various instances of ghostly activity, capturing eerie voices and unexplained sounds in their recordings. These spectral whispers from the past lend credence to the belief that Fort Delaware is a hotbed of supernatural activity. But what is it that these lost souls seek? Is it redemption, retribution, or merely recognition of their existence? The answers may forever remain shrouded in the mists of time and the eerie silence of the fort's deserted halls. The echoes of a bygone era resound through Fort Delaware, a chilling reminder of the human cost of war. The spirits of those who perished here seem unwilling to rest, their stories untold, their presence undeniable. Fort Delaware, where history refuses to be silenced. In Florida, the ancient walls of Castillo de San Marcos conceal spectral secrets. This fortress in St. Augustine, the oldest city in the United States, has witnessed centuries of history and warfare. Built by the Spanish in the late 17th century, it served as a military outpost and prison, experiencing numerous battles and sieges throughout its existence. The fortress, with its coquina walls and strategic location, was designed to protect the city from enemy invasions. However, it also bore witness to the harsh realities of war and imprisonment. The echoes of these past events seem to reverberate within the fort's walls, giving rise to chilling tales of apparitions and unexplained phenomena. Visitors to Castillo de San Marcos often report strange occurrences. Disembodied voices echo through empty corridors, and spectral footsteps sound in the dead of night. There are accounts of ghostly soldiers standing guard forever at their post, and pitiful prisoners that wander the fort's confines. One of the most famous apparitions is the ghost of a love-struck Spanish soldier, who, legend has it, was doomed to eternal wandering after being tricked and killed by a deceitful lover. His mournful figure is said to roam the fortress grounds, forever searching for his treacherous love. Another well-known tale is that of the dungeon prisoners. It is said that the spirits of these unfortunate souls, who suffered untold miseries in the dark, dank cells, have never left. Their cries and pleas for mercy are said to be heard on quiet nights, a chilling testament to the fort's darker past. Yet, despite its ghostly reputation, Castillo de San Marcos continues to draw visitors from around the world, drawn not only to its spectral stories, but also its historical significance. It stands as a symbol of the complex and often tumultuous history of Florida, its ancient walls whispering tales of the past to those who dare to listen. Castillo de San Marcos, where the past is as alive as the present. In Savannah, Georgia, the spirits aren't just in the bottles at Moon River Brewing Company. Nestled in one of the oldest and most beautiful cities in America, this brewery has a history that is as rich and complex as the beers it crafts. But it's not just the hops and barley that make this place unique. It's also the stories, the chilling tales, and the ghostly encounters that have given the brewery a reputation that extends beyond its delicious ales. Originally built in the early 19th century, the building that houses Moon River Brewing Company has seen its fair share of history. It was a hotel at first, then a hospital during the yellow fever epidemics, and even served as a makeshift morgue. With such a tumultuous past, it's no surprise that the Moon River Brewing Company has become a hotbed for paranormal activity. Over the years, patrons and staff alike have reported eerie happenings. Ghostly figures seen wandering through the bar after hours, sudden cold spots in the middle of a bustling room, and objects moving of their own accord. It's not uncommon for guests to feel an unseen hand on their shoulder or to hear hushed whispers in an empty hallway. The most famous of these spectral residents is said to be a woman named Toby. As the legend goes, Toby was a worker at the hotel during its early days. He met a tragic end in the basement, and his spirit seems to have never left. Toby is known for his playful antics, often reported to move chairs, knock over glasses, or even give unsuspecting visitors a gentle shove. These tales of the paranormal have become as integral to the Moon River Brewing Company as the beer itself. They add an extra layer to the experience, a shiver down the spine to accompany each sip of their award-winning brews. Whether you're a believer in the supernatural or just a lover of fine beer, there's no denying that this brewery offers a unique experience. Moon River Brewing Company, where every round comes with a chilling tale.